All right. Today, we're jumping into something that's, well, it's becoming a critical skill if you want to thrive in this new age of AI. We're talking about mastering deep work, a kind of renaissance of focus.
So let me ask you something, and be honest. Do you ever get to the end of your day, one of those days packed with meetings, pings, emails, and you just feel completely drained? You were busy for sure, but did you actually get anything important done?
Yeah, if you're nodding along right now, you are definitely not alone. The thing is, we're kind of in the middle of this silent global crisis. And it's not a crisis of intelligence or a lack of tools, it's an attention crisis.
Okay, so let's get into our first big idea here, the attention crisis. It's a strange paradox, right? We've got all these incredible tools, AI assistants, instant everything. But for so many of us, it's actually leading to less meaningful work, not more. How does that even happen? This quote it nails it. We've basically traded depth for breadth. We've become human routers, just passing information along all day instead of actually creating new value. And that's a really dangerous spot to be in professionally. So, what's the new superpower in this economy? What's the thing that's really going to set you apart? Well, it's not being the fastest person to answer a Slack message. It's this: the ability to focus on a single, tough problem for, say, 4 hours straight with zero interruptions. That skill, it's becoming so rare, it really is like a superpower. But why is all this distraction so bad for us? I mean, it's not just a feeling of being frazzled. There is a real hidden cost inside your brain every single time you switch tasks. Our brains, they're not wired for this constant switching. And that brings us to this key idea: attention residue. Okay, think of it like this. You're working on something important, and you just quickly glance at a text message. Even after you put the phone down, a part of your brain is still stuck on that text. It's like leaving a little piece of your mind behind. You're never giving 100% to the new task, and your brain is basically running with this constant low-grade lag. And the impact of this? It's pretty shocking, actually. All this constant switching can effectively drop your functional IQ by as much as 15 points. To put that into perspective for you, that's like pulling an all-nighter. You're basically operating as if you haven't slept every single day. Which leads us to the heart of the matter, really. The big showdown: deep work versus shallow work. And getting the difference between these two, it's absolutely crucial. Because honestly, it's the new economic reality that's going to define your career from here on out. Just take a look at this. On one side, you've got shallow work. The logistical stuff, answering emails, scheduling meetings, the kind of thing AI is getting really good at. And because of that, its economic value is basically heading towards zero. But then, on the other side, you have deep work. This is the hard stuff, the cognitively demanding work that creates new value, the kind of work that's hard to replicate. The market is screaming which one it values more. So the real question is, where are you spending your time? It's funny. Our whole culture seems to worship busyness, right? Like a packed calendar means you're important. But this quote just flips that on its head. It says busyness is often just a stand-in for laziness. Lazy thinking. It's a way to avoid the real, hard, focused work that actually solves problems. Okay, so we've painted a pretty grim picture of the problem. But the good news is there are solutions. So let's pivot and talk about some real, actionable strategies you can use to reclaim your focus. Look, the most productive people don't just hope for focus to show up. They build rituals to command it. And this is something you can totally do. It's a simple system. First, define your space. It could be a specific room or even just turning on a specific lamp. Second, set clear rules. No phone, no email, period. And third, create a trigger. Maybe it's a certain kind of music or a cup of tea, something that tells your brain, all right, it's go time. And hey, there's no one-size-fits-all answer here. You can pick a philosophy that works for you. There's the bimodal approach, where you might block off a few days a week for nothing but deep work, monk mode, and leave the other days for meetings and emails. Or productive meditation, using your commute or a walk to just think, really think about one specific problem. And this last one, it's huge. Learn to embrace boredom. Stop reaching for your phone every time you have a spare second. That downtime isn't wasted. It's where the magic happens, where your brain actually makes new connections. All right, we're at our final section, and this might be the most important mental shift of all. We've got to stop thinking about AI as the enemy that's coming for our jobs and start seeing it as the powerful ally it can be for deep work. I mean, the whole conversation out there is AI versus humans, right? It's all about competition, who's going to be replaced.
But it's the wrong frame. It's the wrong question.
The right question, the much more useful and empowering question is this: how can I use AI to buy back my time and mental energy so I can do more deep work? And this table here, it lays out the new partnership perfectly. Let AI handle all that shallow work on the left. Let it draft your emails, summarize those long reports, fix the boring code. What does that do? It gives you back your most precious resource, your focused time. Time you can then pour into the stuff on the right, the hard, human stuff, the strategy, the creativity, the big picture thinking. That's the game now. That is how you win.
So here's where we land. In a world that's only getting louder and more distracting, the future really does belong to the focused. Your ability to shut out the noise and concentrate is becoming the ultimate competitive advantage. So I'll leave you with this choice. Are you going to be a distracted user of tools or a focused master of your craft?